Welcome to Close Reactions of the Third Kind, where I react to someone else's reaction to another video. Now, you may find it confusing, but you'll get used to it. Let's go.
Today we're going to be checking out a video called I Only Heard These Sounds After Moving to America. It's our friend Lawrence. Apparently he heard some sounds he's never heard before, and that's what we're doing today.
Hello. For some reason, I woke up next to a tree this morning, and that reason could be because I couldn't get to sleep in my actual bed because for the first time in as many days, it was autumn.
I'm so sorry. I'm so confused as to what's happening right now. Why has he woke up beside a tree?
He explains at the end, so stick around.
So you go, because you can't sleep in your own bed, the next thing in your mind is to go and sleep beside a tree. All right, okay. I'm not going to argue that.
And that meant that my bedroom was completely silent, and you might be watching this thinking, I'm really confused right now, and if you are, that you could be British. Because in America, for the most part, your bedroom and most of the rooms in the house, especially in the summertime, are not silent. There's this little thing called white noise. And white noise is this thing that seems to permeate American society in general, and something that Americans tell me that they can't do without when they go to bed.
Usually, what people call white noise really isn't. They just mean random background noise. Now, there are different types of non-random noise covering the full range of human hearing. There's white, pink, and brown, categorized by the volume level at certain frequency ranges.
And for me, it's the other way around. You know, in Britain, I grew up with really quiet, peaceful bedrooms, with the exception of my dad snoring in the next room. I sort of got used to that for 26 years. I got used to this sort of just, I don't know, this general silent ambience. Is that even a thing? And then...
Yes. Ambience, or ambiance, refers to the mood of a setting. Does not need to be audio. And general ambience is redundant.
When I moved to America, bear in mind this was in the winter, so it hadn't yet happened yet, but by the time the summer started to heat up, we were putting on the air conditioning units, right? And of course, famously, we still haven't come around to that idea in the UK. It just became this thing. It sort of happened to me that as soon as I moved here, without realizing it, was falling asleep to white noise. And I think after about a year
What's playing the white noise, though?
The air conditioner, or even a fan. Now, technically, it's not really white noise, since it doesn't smoothly cover the entire 20 to 20,000 hertz range of human hearing. But it's close enough for these guys. Purists might want to buy a magic box.
This isn't how things used to be. So in America, every autumn, it takes me right back to me childhood.
What's
briefly,
is it just the ambience?
Yes, but it's high-tech ambience.
And
is it just what it sounds like?
In the bedroom, because the heating is too hot. It's like a catch-22. But while I was laying there awake at night and before I fell asleep next to this tree, I had some thoughts about some of the other sounds that I commonly hear in the United States that I would never have heard in England. And if you listen carefully, you can probably hear one of those sounds right now. Hear that? That is, well, North American bird species, most likely anyway, because in the UK, the bird that you hear most commonly is a wood pigeon, because it makes that really
your game, Lawrence. You've edited it in.
Most of Europe, I think, and it just goes.
Respectable, though. Yes.
I realise I'm making bird sounds in public.
You know, I think it's rather rude of Lawrence to keep talking while Adam is interrupting.
Here, you don't really hear that sound very often because wood pigeons aren't native to North America. And instead, you'll hear the sounds of many birds. I mean, here in the Midwest, you've got cardinals, you've got the red-winged blackbird, you've got mourning doves, which of course comprise about 33% of my own family. And so the general bird ambience differs greatly between Britain and the United States. And of course, America, being the giant country that it is, boasts a stupid amount of birds and an amount of stupid birds. But that's every country.
I wonder how many birds there actually are in America. Do you think there's more birds than there is people? There's gotta be, right?
And
has to be.
You know,
if you really want to know, you could look it up. Approximately 1,100 species and well over 10 billion individual birds. That's at least 30 birds per person.
noise or the sound, the ambience that they produce differs immensely depending on where you are in the country. So I can only speak for here. I've seen a cardinal sitting outside of my
But this
house.
was in the last video. Is that a real bird?
Yes, although it may not be a picture Lawrence actually took. It may just be what's known as a stock photo, like this. These are bought or licensed by content creators when they can't take the photo themselves. The cardinal is the state bird of Illinois and a few other states.
Why does it look like the phoenix from Harry Potter, man?
on a
It doesn't. Not by a long shot. The phoenix is about 8 times larger, is trimmed in gold, and has a much longer tail. You'll get a lot further in life if you stop confusing children's movies with reality.
telephone wire dropping a massive but all the time chatting.
Shit,
so
they
if
did
you
do
are the
it, but
sort
he
of
actually done a
person who's
shit.
really into birds, which is all English people once they pass the age of 40, then if you move to America, get yourself a bird book. Do those things still? I don't know if they exist, but look it up on the internet. Which birds are in your local area? And then what about the sound?
Hey, that means
you
something
hear at a
different here,
zebra
man.
crossing?
Yes, Adam. Many of us, especially those who experienced the British invasion in the 60s, know what a bird is in British slang. But we are also mature enough to grasp the concept of context, knowing which meaning of a word is meant by the conversation surrounding it.
Slash crosswalk.
Means something
Again,
different here,
those
bro.
differ all throughout the United States. Where I live, you hear things like, the crosswalk sign is on. The crosswalk sign is on. And we get the picture, mate.
Yo,
and
I'm gonna lie, man. If like there's somebody watching him, if there's somebody sitting in a car or something listening and watching him do like bird sounds and repeating the same sounds over and over and over again, I guarantee you right now they are having a right laugh.
here it almost sounds like a machine gun, like, right, which really makes you want to run across the road, so at least it gets its job done efficiently. But it is mildly terrifying. In Britain, I can't really remember how it goes. It's something like beep, 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 beep. Probably making that up. Producers, can we look up what it sounds like in Britain?
Oh yeah.
Over the last 2 years,
thought that.
one sound that I've heard commonly here in Chicago.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie, Lawrence. I'm not gonna lie, man. The tissues on the table at your computer desk is a bit sus, bro. Ah, okay. Placement is everything, man.
Oh, grow up.
Is my cat, but also tornado sirens.
Oh no.
That almost sounds like he's making that sound himself, or slowing down a recording of a cat's meow.
Tornado sirens go off when we're put into a tornado warning, and that's when we have to go down to our basement, get away from all of the windows, and just sort of stay put until the local authorities tell us that we can leave. In fact, my cat is well
second time
drilled
in 9
in this
months.
by now.
We're
And you might be
wait, what? We're under a tornado warning. Once again, the cat is entirely bored by the whole thing. We'll let you know when we have the all clear.
well drilled in this by now. And you might be thinking, ooh, Lawrence, why are you including tornado sirens and not tornadoes themselves? And the reason is simple, because while tornadoes might be devastating when they do in fact strike, Americans are likely going to hear more tornado sirens in their life than they are
True.
tornadoes. And come to that, Britain isn't itself without the odd twister, and I'm not just referring to the sweaty board game. As a matter of fact, England experiences more tornadoes per square mile than any other country on Earth. It's just that none of them are strong enough to feature in films with Helen Hunt. So
Where?
they very rarely cause
I swear down, I have never in my life even seen one with my own eyes in real life or seen somebody posting one anywhere. I've never seen one. I don't know who's telling them this. I need to see some sort of proof because I ain't seen shit.
There are, on average, 10 tornadoes in Ireland every year, but they're small. That's maybe 3 up north, and around 30 in Britain. So yeah, maybe you have never seen one. I've never seen a Lamborghini Temerario, but I don't indignantly claim they don't exist.
Realities. I promise I am happy about that. This is just my default face. But the tornado siren is most certainly something I'd never heard until I moved to the United States, although that's not entirely
I never
true.
want to hear that.
Because in Britain we do have such sirens, and they were once used for alerting us to air raids, and nowadays to another weather phenomenon, floods. But I can tell you unequivocally that nothing prepared me this year for the moment when I was just standing in a wooded area with my wife, and all of a sudden, that's not a plane in a heavy wind. That is the siren, just my impersonation of it. You know? And it was deafening. It was deafening. I genuinely thought the Germans were coming until I looked at my calendar, realized it was an invisible watch and that it wasn't the 1940s. So perspective is everything. I mean, it's always nice when you can just sit there and say, thank goodness
So what was
just
it?
a tornado. Anyway,
Oh.
normally when we're hankering down in that shelter, otherwise known as the basement, you do find yourself morbidly listening out for that whoosh sound, right? Or at least I do. But most of the time, all you're left with is crickets. Not literally, that would be weird. Although it does bring me on to another point, crickets. I'm not talking about the sport.
Or Buddy Holly's band.
Of course, we hear that all the time.
And let's not talk
in the
about
English
cricket.
Summer, not
Terrible
so much
sport.
here. But crickets, the insect.
That's what I'm thinking about whenever he's talking about white noise at the start of the video. That's like in my mind, is that what he's hearing? Is that white noise though? Because I suppose it's a different sound. So white noise is like the same frequency as the sound, isn't it? Whereas that's not really the same. I don't know what you.
I've talked about these before, of course. The
Go back to the 125 mark.
sound that they make is very prominent on this side of the ocean. In Britain, we don't have that ambience, and
Nope.
it's a blooming shame because it's a very relaxing sound.
Well, a whole bunch of them out in the field might be, but a single one in your basement is a different matter.
It
I've
really
never
is.
really articulated
We
that
just
before.
got tractors and people screaming. Our version of your crickets, tractors going by, people screaming. Yeah, it's not great, man, to be honest.
talked about crickets on this channel in the past, but it's a sound that I can actually sit there in the park listening to crickets, which is weird because this is insects mating, or at least sending out a mating call, and I'm there casually
What?
listening in on it. Imagine if it was humans and I was doing that.
There's
it
no-
seems like we have alternative
Do
rules.
not do that, Lawrence, because you could probably get arrested if you were literally screaming to have sex with someone. I did not know that was crickets wanting a bit of jiggy time. So the next time I hear those crickets getting on like that, that's they're basically horny. Oh my god.
Loud insect noises are almost always mating calls.
When it comes to other members of the animal kingdom. I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong. I don't want to do that to humans who should keep themselves to themselves. So those are just some of the sounds that I thought of when I woke up next to that tree this morning. And Mum, if you are watching, I didn't really wake up next to a tree. It's just for the narrative of this video. It's a weird narrative. That's it for this episode.
Sorry,
Let
Dom.
me know.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that was actually quite of an eye-opener. I did not know that about crickets. It's pretty cool. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Oh my. Another example of the deficiencies of the UK education system. Not that the US is any better, but there are so many things Adam doesn't know that most US fifth graders are at least aware of. You know, he should pay more attention to Lawrence, who doesn't sound so aggressively incredulous when told something he doesn't know. Well, I'm off to find more interesting reactions. Most of them are far calmer than either Adam or Lewis, so they're not as entertaining. Interesting, yes, but in a more, well, mature manner. But I keep trying. Thanks for stopping by.